spaghetti, pizza, and fish. Tune in, because we got that dish.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey. What? Had a little throwback, a little total. Can't you see what you doing to me? What? And I don't think Talicia could see what Shai was doing, or maybe Shay couldn't see what she was doing to Talicia.
I don't think so.
What's up, everybody? Back again, dynamic duo. One half, your boy Chaos Jones, Chaos J on Twitter, Chaos_Oceans31. Oceans why? Because your boy's so wavy. And let me throw it over to my beautiful co-host, the real OG.
What's going on? What's up, AfterBuzzers? Thanks for tuning in for yet another episode of Catfish. I'm Olivia Gabaree. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, the real OG.
Oh, yeah. Say what? Let's let that breathe for a second.
I love this song.
Right? That's who I need to come back with some new hot rocks, some new heat rocks. It's total. Where they been? Besides that tour, though. That tour was fire. Okay, so let's get into it. Catfish episode 4. Talicia and Shay. Is Shay Bay or Cray? We're gonna get into it. We had Talicia. She was from Chicago, Chi-Town. And Shay, who was from Kansas, or was she? Talicia, which Max, pointed out, her name reminded him of pizza. Hence why your boy's rocking the pizza fitted today. I thought that was hilarious.
What are the chances of that?
First off, right. Well, I got what he was saying when he was saying, anything I see that's got an IZZA, like Mike Piazza or anything like that, makes me think of pizza. I'm the same way. And I've heard of people coming up with unique ways to name their children. First off, the fact that it didn't sound like there was a name already previously planned prior to.
It's like he was eating some pizza
and he was just like,
you know what?
I'm a scratch off that P, throw in the T, and that's her name.
Yes.
Huh? But no diss, because obviously, shout out to Talicia. If you get to tune in, we support you. We like the name Talicia all day, pizza all day, catfish. All right. So she recently had gotten out of a 4-year relationship with her boyfriend. And he wasn't doing it right. Didn't she say he was like cheating on her or something like that?
Yeah, but she's so young. She's only 18.
Right? So it's like, you've been with this dude 14?
Freshman in high school type relationship.
I don't know if I would have been. I mean, I had a few girlfriends in high school, but 4 years, there was nobody I wanted to be with. I mean, everyone I thought I wanted to be with that long, but 4 years, that's a long time.
Can't waste your youth like that.
That's
on one guy. Come on
one
now.
dude, and he ain't even doing you right. Cut it. So 18 months later, and this is when we get into what we're gonna start here on the Catfish Season 6 remix. We're going to start a checklist, because clearly there really is a recipe. There's a list of ingredients for every catfish, no matter who the story is, who's involved. There's always familiar ingredients. So it starts with the random friend request.
Yeah. Now,
it's not necessarily that it's uncommon when you see people get these random friend requests, but the fact that, I don't know, is always still kind of odd, because usually there's at least one mutual friend,
right?
Some kind of shared connection. It's never really truly out of the blue, like, oh yeah, I just decided to start following you. And
you have to come across them some way or another.
Something. But again, it was like a year and a half later, Shay hits her up, sends her that hot friend request, and they start a friendship. And they start talking on the phone and and texting. And
it's kind of weird how that happens, though, because I do feel like sometimes I do get random requests, but it's very rare that we start having genuine conversation after that.
And you're like, yo, I want to go take this dude out for a slice of pizza.
Exactly. So it's not even, I think the first part of the checklist is random requests, that would be the jumping off point, but then it's that random message. That's the key right there.
Right.
Random message.
But I'll say this, when it comes to social media, I feel like in certain circumstances or situations, especially like with Facebook and maybe even Instagram more so, you send someone a request, and then once I allow you to enter my space, my digital space, like I feel like there should be some kind of a acknowledgement.
Really?
Like,
wait, are you private on Instagram?
No, Chaos Oceans is for the people. It's for the people.
So, but if someone followed you, you think that they...
No, that's different.
Okay, so
but
this
when,
is...
like in Facebook, you know, you still got to send friend requests,
okay,
right?
well, Facebook's a little more personal.
So Facebook, and
Okay.
or if you have a private page.
Yes.
I kind of low key want to know if you have if I have a private page, and you're sending me a request, I kind of want to know
who you are.
Yeah, just a little bit. Say a comment, something. So for me, I feel like you need to say something more so on Facebook. This really applies more so for Facebook.
I agree.
Like, you send me a request, like, okay, cool, I'm gonna click add and let you come in, but I'm gonna need you to not just sit on my couch and not say nothing. It's kind of weird. And then granted, she doesn't. They start talking, but it was still just kind of random. We find out that Shay is 17 years old, although from them pictures, she did not look 17.
No.
Not even a little bit. She was a stripper. Is legit what she put in her profile. Now, most strippers don't want to be called strippers.
Well, her title was exotic dancer at Temptations, which is a strip club.
I saw they showed another part of her profile where it said stripper. I had to go back and make sure, because I was like, okay, before I just start throwing out stripper, let me make sure. And granted, yeah, exotic dancer. I mean, I don't know. When you first saw, you heard everything about Shay, what were your thoughts?
Well, I think that should be a telltale sign right there. If you're 17 years old and you're a stripper, isn't that illegal?
It's illegal, but it wouldn't be uncommon.
Impossible. Okay, fair. But I think, within the recipe, we have photos. The photos are beautiful. The girl in the photos, they're beautiful, but...
all selfies.
They're all selfies. They're not... She does not look 17 to me at all. So that right there doesn't add up. And then if you want to take the age into the consideration of the profession, that doesn't necessarily line up either. That would at least be questionable in my mind.
But we come to find out that she's like, Shay's been like a coach to me, my best friend, my diary. I'm like, oh.
I know.
I mean, granted, yes, we all have someone that we share and we even overshare with, but there's still some things I'm gonna keep to myself.
Especially in a virtual relationship.
Right.
Because Nev and Max were saying she could know this person, and now this person has all the ammo they want to blackmail her.
Exactly. And we have seen that happen in other cases, not necessarily on Catfish, but just in real life. She was always positive she was always positive and encouraging. And this brings something to mind. I love how they always show, like, the reenactment of the text messages and, oh my God, I hurt you, and oh my goodness, you're so awesome. I wonder, do they really take and transcribe her text messages and then they just put it in their own little, in their own little graphics so it just looks better for the viewers?
I was thinking that too, but I wasn't positive. I think that they probably just made them up. They're very generic things.
They are very
except,
generic.
Later on.
Right.
Less generic.
As time went on, things became more romantic. It was, less friendly and more like, hey, girl, what your name is? And she even said, like, she loved Shay. Like, she was, Shay was a ride or die for her, However, there were some, some things that Shay didn't share, wasn't so forthcoming with.
Well, Shay wasn't very open about anything. She was more of a listener rather than a teller. And she never really confided in Talicia, which was something that was also sketchy because it almost seems like she has something to hide.
Right. Like, I'm pouring my heart out to you, so... It's
a very one-way relationship.
Yeah.
And I would also think that was weird if I was on the other side of things.
Because it's like, okay, like, even... even the most vain person that, you know, self-centered person, at some point I would like to think, even they're like, okay, all right. I have talked about myself enough. Like, what is up with you? I mean, everybody has their moments. There's times where I get on the phone and next thing I know, I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. How was your day?
Yeah.
Like, I forgot to ask, like, how was your day? But yeah, she was putting the entire focus on TT. When it came to her sharing information, she always had excuses. Again, let's go back on that checklist. Always has excuses not to video chat.
That's like, for sure.
It is, because
sign.
you can never, I mean, you're never that busy. Two, at a certain point, I don't look good, I don't have makeup, I don't have this, gets old. I mean, I've even, I ain't got a haircut, whatever, and then I always end up caving. Right, yeah, no. At some point I caved. I'm like, it's okay, but don't judge. You know, and then, hop on that hot video chat. And then you got her friend, her BFF, Antonice, Niecy, who was like, yo, this chick is a catfish. Niecy was on it.
She was keeping it real.
She really was.
A little too real for me.
And we're going to get into that. So, she even, suggested, like, hey, like, I'm going to friend her, and I'm going to do a little research because something's fishy. Something's off. And then we meet Antonice. So what were your thoughts on Antonice?
Antonice was Shay. Those are my thoughts. I thought for sure that it was
And what's
her.
crazy is Max and Nev immediately said that. Like, normally they don't just immediately go into, but then coming off of the other episode, not last week's, but the week before that, or whatever, with the god sister.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It makes sense, and and at this point, anything can happen on Catfish. But yeah, I started thinking the same thing. Like, I didn't think about it off rip, but once they suggested that possibility, and then when I saw the way they were interacting on the sofa, I was like,
it seems like she had some serious feelings for her.
She was just so supportive. I was like, wow.
Well,
like,
and she said,
can I get a friend like that? Like, Antonice, you taking applications?
And she said that she was getting jealous of Shay because Talicia was confiding in Shay so much so that she wasn't telling her anything.
She was keeping her out of the loop.
Yeah.
And then, I mean,
but then
Max,
they're all hugging and...
Right. She's wiping the tears from her
like,
eyes. And I'm like, whoa. And then Max was like, you guys have a
really nice friendship. That was hilarious.
And it was, because
so Max.
It was all Max, and you knew he was thinking like, yeah, I got your number, girl. I got your number. So we've established now that Antonice is low-key suspect number one. Like, she's just super just there and just all about her, and but she was cute and she was this and she was that. So there were little things that she would say, the jealousy and all of that I was kind of like, if it really is her, she's playing it up.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like, well, maybe it's not, but I wasn't sure. So then even Max start doing their investigation. They do what they do.
Right. And you think by now that anybody, if I thought I was getting catfish, I would just use all Nev and Max's tactics. I would search the phone number. I would do a little Google search in the, the image search in the Google.
Right, exactly. All of that. And they did do the image search, which came back with nothing. And then Max and Nev even struck out. Yeah. They didn't even find anything. And again, no tagged friends. But then the one thing they did notice was that Antonice was, the one friend in common. Right. Which again was like,
Yeah, but you can't be that silly if you're gonna.
But you can though. That's the thing. Like, criminals, they always make one mistake. That's why they get caught. Same with catfishers. They always make that one mistake.
At that point, I just thought that she was adding her because she was trying to check out the situation.
Because she was just trying to check out the situation. And then Max, Max even suggested, and TC even admitted, she said, my family thinks that, Antonice is all about me. And I'm like, yeah, I don't even know y'all. And Antonice,
I think she's all about
you. And then Max said, if it was her, it'd be perfect. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought maybe, we talked about that where I think it was last week where we were saying it would be cool to see at least one episode where that catfish person isn't who they said they were, but they still overcame that,
right,
and ended up having a relationship. So this is where my I start getting into mixed emotions, because with my suspicion of Antonice, I kind of secretly was like, I kind of wanted to be Antonice. Like, she was all about TT.
I think that would have made, honestly, the episode might have been better if it was Antonice. I wish it was her. But that would stink for their friendship, because they are best friends. And to find out that your best friend had been not only playing you, but lying to you for a year and a half.
Right.
What does that say about your friendship?
That is a very big betrayal. They didn't find any pictures. They really didn't find a lot. They figured out that she was using a text app for a number.
Yeah.
Which was just for the state of Kansas and not an actual real city.
But that's a big deal, though. An entire fake number. So we should add to the checklist numbers, because whenever they search the number, you could tell by the area code where the location is.
Or the number's always registered to someone funky.
Someone different.
It's like registered to like a 70-year-old black dude.
Yeah, just like you could always tell it's something sketchy.
Yeah. So then, they talk to Shay, and, and she's all nervous. And again, checklist. It's not the right time. What else did she say? She said, oh, I don't have it. I don't see it in my notes. I wrote it down because it was so verbatim. And it's the same thing all the time. It was like, there's not enough time. I'm busy. I don't know. I'm nervous. It's all these like really shallow excuses, but then they always cave. And she's like, okay, yeah, cool. Come to Kansas.
What makes them cave, though? Like Neve's voice. Once they get that call from Neve, they're like, you know what?
Hello? Is this Catfish?
Yeah, exactly. But this time she called Talicia, and she was like, you got Neve from Catfish calling my phone?
Right.
That's funny. Because now, like, in the other seasons, it was never like that. But now that they've built such a name, and now Catfish has literally become a verb.
Exactly.
They're familiar.
Exactly. You're right. Yeah.
So they're more than willing.
If I ever get a call from Neve on my voicemail, I'm like, like it used to be, they're
who's
like,
Neve?
who's Neve? Like, why is he calling me right now?
But they're like, Neve
Catfish? Hey. To the point now where they just start calling the other person like, why are you calling Catfish? It's almost the same as if you got a call from someone from the Maury show.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost the same reaction now. Like, what you want me to go on Maury for? Like, we just need to discuss a few things.
Because we know you're a lying ass.
Right? You know that show, baby. Like, yeah, that baby got chapped lips. I ain't got chapped lips. Like, those reasons on Maury sidebar are always ridiculous. Like, crazy ridiculous. Okay, so they're on their way to Kansas City, and they get a phone call, and it's Shay, and she says,
I'm actually in New York.
What?
I'm really sorry. She probably thought that, I was thinking that she probably thought that they got the plane, and made the detour, and then it was too late for them to come see her. But she hit them up right before they got on the plane.
She did.
So they missed the cut.
Yeah, and that was just kind of weird. Like, why wouldn't you just say that in the first place? Like, I didn't know. Like, I was nervous.
I wonder what changed her mind.
The fact that she called her and was like, you call Catfish on me? You're familiar with Catfish.
Right.
And by being familiar with Catfish, you know that once they say, hey, what's up? Are you down to meet? It's a wrap. There's never like, well, she said she was down to meet you, but
the way the budget's set up.
Right, but the way the budget's set up, like, we don't have the money to get your ticket.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's never going to happen. They're always going to get a flight. Even when they, they had that, little moment of drama, like, well, we're going to see what we can do to get you guys on another flight.
Yeah.
Y'all going to get the flight. Mm-hmm. Quit playing. But yeah, so she's like, just come to Brooklyn. I'm going to explain everything. And they're like, okay, but how do we know you're not lying? And I kept thinking that too. Like, even when they suggested it, I'm like, that's kind of a reach. But at the same time, I was thinking like,
Imagine if she lied again.
and they got to Brooklyn. Like, I need that this season at least once. And granted, I'm sorry, guys, because I know that's a major inconvenience. But, like, I need just once.
To send them on, like, a chase.
Just, I promise you.
It'll be funny.
And it would be, but I wonder at what point would they continue, you know, if they went to the wrong place the first time, would they even bother going to the second place? Or they'd be like, look, we're going to run you this ticket. Either you show up or you don't. Mm-hmm. And I always feel like at the end of the day, we're going to get our catfish.
I know, but I want there to be an episode where they can't figure it out.
That would be nice. Like a to be continued.
Yeah.
That would be good. Producers, if you are
Get
watching,
on that.
I'm going to need you to get on that.
Or viewers, catfish someone and then never be found.
Disappear. Like, just ghost all day. So then they get to New York. They get to BK. And she got them going to River and First, and it low-key was kind of sketchy. Mm-hmm. Like, super sketchy. I was like, easy. Like, you got catfish in the streets right now.
Well, Max was like, she could have just heard that in a Jay-Z song.
Right. And then I started thinking, like, first off, I'm going to go ahead and show my ignorance. I did not know that there was a city called Carnacy?
I forget. It began with a C.
Yeah, it's Carnacy. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, hit us in the comments. Let us know. And I kept thinking, like, I know he said Marcy. Mm-hmm. He always repped Marcy, Brooklyn. But I was like, Carnacy? I was like, I thought I knew Jay-Z. Like, maybe I didn't know Jay-Z as well as I thought I did. Because you got me wondering now. But they pull up where she told them to meet. And we see someone there. Now, granted, before they show the head, they always, her face. They always show the torso and everything. And immediately from the torso, you
could tell she wasn't a stripper.
Yeah, she was not a stripper. Although there are some people that like plus size strippers.
Okay.
And, that could be their thing. But no, we knew. No.
I was just going to go ahead and assume that she's not a stripper.
Yeah, pretty much. She was not stripping unless it was in personal private bedrooms of people's homes. She was not getting them dollars. No diss. Because Makita was pretty. But yeah, so we find out that she actually is 20. Mm-hmm. She aged down really low. Normally people shave off a year or two, but
17. Well, maybe she just was trying to relate. Yeah, 17's pretty young. Yeah. I feel like this was a very weird young catfish.
It really
How
was.
young is too young?
17 is the answer today.
I think that's the cutoff right there.
Pretty much. Like, that's kind of, because then it would have been even more awkward had it been a boy-girl situation.
Yeah, right.
Because then I've been looking at him like, yo, bro, you 20.
Sketchy.
Like, why are you talking to a 17-year-old? Like, nah. Like, you get that first year grace period after you graduate high school to even, like, to kind of talk to somebody that's maybe it's still a senior.
Right.
You get that 1 year grace period. After that, if she hasn't graduated within that year, bruh, you gross.
It's weird because
like
when you're
pervy.
young like that, when you're, elementary school, middle school, high school, age really does matter. But
really
once
does.
you get in the mix of your 20s, it's not that bad.
Right.
But I think you have to get over the teens before you start dipping, what I'm saying?
Exactly. So we see Makita. We find out she lives with her mother, sister, brother. And she claims that the purpose of the page was for her ex-boyfriend now, and she was trying to catch him cheating. Mm-hmm. Plausible.
Yeah, but then I always wonder if, like, that's good and well if you want to do that, but how does it turn into this? Then she said she was just adding random friends to make it look legit.
And then she reached out to her because she saw the issues with her boyfriend that she was having.
But how did she know, though? Was she posting statuses about it?
Everybody this day and age overshares.
Yeah, that's true.
To a T. Like, I've got some relatives that I know, like, oh, she having baby daddy drama again.
Yeah.
Because she always posts these random, these random messages. What
telling but not telling,
right? Like, what was one was like, what isn't appreciated will get taken away, And I was like, oh, we took away
Tell me
things
more.
now. Like, okay, like I know that wasn't meant for anybody in the family. So,
Yeah,
anyway.
that's true. She could have just saw a salty status and acted on it.
So she says she reaches out to TT out of empathy, and she admits to having some kind of feelings for her. And that's why she kept it going. But even her admitting that she had feelings was like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Like she was reluctant to just admit
at
it.
first she was straight up, nah.
Yeah, nah.
I feel nothing for you.
Nothing at all. You dead to me, fam. Like,
Who
wait.
even are you?
Like, right? Who are you right now, Makita? Like, really? And the way I took it was she was uncomfortable admitting that she liked girls. Mm-hmm. And then we come to find out that her mom's super religious, and and it was a whole family thing. And I get it, because that was a big moment for Talicia, because she had been previously just dating guys.
Right.
So this was like her coming out, on TV. Although I don't want to say it was necessarily coming out. I know this is a super huge double standard, but you're a girl and you just say, well, I'm kind of dabbling and I'm experimenting with other girls. And unless
you think it's not as serious?
No.
It might be easier.
I think it's more accepted. And that's not to say that it's fair, but I feel like it's more accepted.
Well, even
when a girl, because even anybody can attest. Like I've dated girls and like, oh, I had this time into college, and it's always in college.
That's one time in college.
And it's like, oh, I dated a girl for a year,
right?
And then I'm like, okay, cool, and I don't think twice about it. Now I think on the other side, if say for example, hypothetically, we were dating, and I was like, yeah, it was one time in college, I was dating this dude Ben for like 2 years. You're like, yeah, it's time for me to exit stage right.
It would be a little different, but
but that's
just
a double
gender.
standard.
It is, but I think. This definitely isn't true across the board, but I think younger generations, even my generation,
are more sexually fluid.
Yeah, it's much easier to just say,
I'm gonna try some new shit today.
Yeah, or
I'm gonna kiss a dude. I'm not, but I'm just saying.
I'm clipping that.
Please do. Please do not clip.
I think that it's easier. It's more acceptable to just be like, okay, I like this person because they're a person, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Whereas I know in our parents' generation, it was much harder to accept different,
right? To even
in quotes,
to even be comfortable with having those feelings,
right?
Which a day later, Makita just was like, yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
I'm kind of digging her. And for me, like, I got mixed emotions again. Your boy was in the glass case of emotions this episode, because I was happy that, first off, props to Talicia, because I thought she maintained her calm and cool
she did.
the whole time. # no tears. No tears.
Savage.
And I was exactly beast mode, because I was expecting some tears.
Good for her though.
Right, exactly.
Because she's young and she's female, and she just got, she went from one messed up relationship, now she finds herself in another, but she kept it like cool.
Yeah, she was cool, and I was happy that it seemed like once Makita went ahead and opened up, because I feel like that was really the biggest thing that was bothering her. I don't even really feel like she was really tripping off the fact that, Makita didn't look like Shay, all of that.
Yeah.
The physical thing I don't think really bothered her.
Right.
And I felt like she was kind of hurt on that car ride back. Like, well, I can't believe that she just said she doesn't have any feelings for me at all. Like, how do you not have feelings? And that's true. Like, how can you have these just intense conversations, phone and text, daily, and not really in your heart feel something?
Yeah, but something, I never believe the catfishes when they say that. They
No.
have this in-depth relationship for months, sometimes years, and then come to find out, no, I feel nothing for you. I was just using you. Well, that's not true. You have to feel something in order to
because you're putting
maintain
in that
it.
effort.
Yes, you're making that effort continuously for that long.
Right. You're literally thinking about that person like, Heart face, how you doing?
Yes, and she even mentioned that she would get mad if Talicia didn't hit her back up.
Right.
So there obviously has to be some feelings,
some attention, and she wanted that attention. So again, my mixed feelings. I kind of wanted it to be Antonice. And I was also a little salty. We did not see any more of Antonice.
I wish she went on the trip
episode.
with them.
Right.
She should have.
Which would have authenticated it even that much more.
Well, maybe that's why they
at
left
the
her
very
home.
last minute, I was thinking what if she re-diverted them to Brooklyn
So
and
she
she was
could
gonna
get
catch
there?
a flight? I thought that.
I was thinking, how long's the drive? Do you think that she could make it there in time?
Right. But then we start to find out that Makita was, she had a lot of stuff going on in her life. She was homeless. Her and her mom and her brother and all that were living in a homeless shelter because they got caught up in a housing scam, which we see all the time on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Especially where it's like the rent to. Is it the rent to own? I think it's like the rent to own joints where it's like, you start out as a renter, but then your payments will eventually be converted into mortgage payments.
Yeah.
And there's always that whole catchy thing, even to the point where people will pose as, the landlord.
That happened to a friend of mine.
Right.
Here.
And they're collecting checks on checks on checks. And then you get an eviction notice because you're technically a squatter because you have
and
been.
you don't even know.
So it was really sad to hear that. And it's like, you have all this going on. How would you not share that? This is your perfect, outlet to have someone to confide in.
Right.
And then Talicia even spoke to that. She said, why didn't you say something?
It's kind of amazing that she was able to keep that under wraps the entire time.
Yeah.
But maybe she was just trying to escape her reality and just enter somebody else's. I mean, and that could have even been a reason for her to pose as a different person, just because she wasn't happy with her reality and she wanted to enter a new one.
Makes sense. So the close of that was that TT was like, okay, well, I, think we should continue talking and just build off of that. Which I was like, oh, wow. Because, again, that's something you really don't see.
That was cool of her.
It was cool of her. And then when they do the follow-up, bam. They both on the Skype.
Yep, in Chicago.
In Chi-Town. Makita went to go visit her, hang out for the weekend. I was like, okay. They said they were just friends.
Do you believe that?
No scissor play. I'm not quite sure. I didn't necessarily believe it. I was like, yeah, okay.
I know.
But hey, man, they look like they were both happy. They definitely looked like they had connected and their bond had gotten stronger. So shout out to them. Yay for Talicia.
Happy ending, I guess.
She got it. Yeah, low key, she got a happy ending. Probably in more ways than we know, but she did get the happy ending nonetheless, and she got a friend out of it. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
Well, where's Antonice? She's not chilling with them.
Like maybe
she kicked to the curb now.
Yeah, hey, she don't need no friends. No new friends. No.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, what was your thoughts about that? About the episode overall? What did you think?
I mean, I was happy that they both ended up in a friendship, and despite the fact that she had been lying to her the whole entire time, but I wish for a little more spice. I want a curveball, something. I want Antonice to be the catfish.
Right? Yeah. So let's jump into predictions. I mean,
I love when you do predictions for this.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
What are you predicting?
I'm predicting that producers and or writers, hopefully there's not writers because that means that it's not necessarily 100% true. Producers are watching. We need more curveballs. We need we need more twists. We need more climactic endings to these episodes.
I want something crazy.
We need something crazy like Shay, Bayer, Cray was not that cray. It had a happy ending at the end of the day. I did that on purpose. But yeah, I need some twists.
We should create one. We should create a catfish low key, and then attract Nev and Max, and then lead them to the show and surprise them.
Bam!
And they could be on the
AfterBuzz show. Catfish.
We catfished you. That's
that would
one
be
way
dope.
to do it.
Exactly. Nev and Max, shout out. We need you on the show. Come holler at us. Yeah, that's all I want. I want more twist. I do like that things have taken they've changed a little bit.
Yeah.
We get a lot of the same formula, a lot of the same ingredients, but some of the outcomes are slightly different. And kind of better, happier endings. Not that I necessarily want the happier endings. I like drama. That's why I watch reality TV, for drama. I don't watch it to see everybody, holding hands and singing Kumbaya.
No kidding.
Hey, man, maybe we will get our wish in the next episode.
Well, hopefully next week.
We'll see. What are your predictions?
The typical. Some lying, some catfishing.
Some tears.
Some fake friends, some real friends.
I want to see some yelling. When's the last time we saw somebody
I
yell?
want beef.
Right.
I feel bad, but I love when they show up to the door and the person just has no remorse.
None.
They're
and
just
they're
like, yeah,
hot.
I just wanted you to pay my phone bill.
Right. Okay, so those are our predictions. I don't know. I'm looking forward to next week. Hopefully we'll get something different. I don't know. Shout out to Talicia. Pizza. Shout out to Makita, Nev and Max, Ariadne, who I know was watching, even though she didn't comment. But she watches all the catfishes. She's Team Catfish. I'm your boy Chaos Jones, Chaos_Oceans 31, keeping it wavy. Chaos J on Twitter. Where can they find you?
You can hit me up at the real_O_G.
Keeping it all the way real.
Hey.
She might hurt your feelings. That's how real she keeps it.
Gotta keep it real here on Catfish.
Yeah, make sure you check us out. Hit us up in the comments if you want to chat. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. It's welcome for you to do so. Also, check us out on iTunes. Podcast, 5 stars, 4 stars. The rest don't count. Leave us some reviews. Let's go. That's all I got.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. Deuces.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.